You know, I just realized we cut Logan Woodside. That breaks my heart. With that being said, outside of Desmond Ridder, who we also just picked up, we picked up 2 defensive tackles and a center. So we picked up this guy right here, which was a former 3rd-round pick in the 2020 NFL Draft by the Denver Broncos. So shout out to him. Never really did anything crazy in the NFL, but the guy's young, right? The guy has plenty of potential. He's only 27 years. Actually, no, he hasn't played since 2023. So that means, how old are you now, buddy? Buster Brown, you are going to be 28 years old when the season starts. Okay, that's still plenty young. And again, maybe he won't make the roster, maybe he will. We'll see, though. Again, he hasn't played in 2 years, so we're not going to really get too many stats. Last time he did play, I'll just leave what he did. Okay, 2022, nothing. 2021, yikes. Okay, again, like I said, this is a guy competing for a job. Who knows? Maybe the Broncos wasn't the right system for him. Maybe our system will be a lot better for him. Well, let's see. Al Golden is a great defense coordinator, so I have a lot of faith because of that. Next guy on the list here that we picked up was another defense tackle. Now, this one actually came over from the Colts, but he did not start with the Colts. He actually started with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was a first-round pick in 2018 NFL Draft, 29th overall pick, actually. Did go ahead and played a lot of good games with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He is 29 years old, which, again, overall-wise, very young for the D-tackle position. But he's also has a lot of experience. So this is a guy where you pick up, and there's probably a good chance he makes the roster, especially given, it depends on how many D-tackles we hold. But given his experience and being a former first-round pick, I feel like he's definitely going to have at least a decent chance to make the roster. So PFF grade-wise, it looks like kind of a little bit all over the place. Not the greatest. But again, like I said, listen, he's a journeyman. He played for Jacksonville for 4 years, didn't get that 5th-year option, it looks like. Went to Cleveland for 1 year, then played with the Colts for 2 years. So, listen, at the end of the day, we'll see. Maybe Al Golden can whip this man into shape and see something special in him. At the end of the day, if he doesn't work out, he doesn't work out. If he does, he does. That's kind of just how it works at this point. We talked about Desmond Ridder earlier today in a video. Across the board, I mean, the Desmond Ridder one, is it that big of a deal we signed him? Not really, but it is cool, that I guess we got rid of Logan Woodside. That's great. Anyway, we do have a guy we picked up a center-wise who, I guess, he went undrafted, it looks like. So, undrafted Andrew Rayam, played center for Carolina, it looks like. And he only played 1 game in his career, but he is also a baby. He barely, is in the NFL. He's only been in the NFL 1 year. That's what I mean by that. All right, so there isn't any stats on him, but he is 309 pounds, 6'4". So the reason why we did pick up this guy is because Seth McLaughlin, who there was speculation that he would be ready for training camp, just went on the PUP list. So we'll see when he's ready. We also put Eric All on the PUP list too, but that's not surprising in the slightest as he's out for the season. But for Seth McLaughlin, who is also a center for us, because he's on the PUP list, you have an extra roster spot. Let's just go ahead and pick up another center, just to see what he can do. Maybe he can do something special, maybe he can't. So I gotta say, out of all the pickups we did today, Desmond Ridder is not going to make the roster, so it is what it is. He'll probably, honestly, Desmond Ridder, in all honesty, we picked him up just so we can get some game tape out there and someone else can sign him. For Andrew, again, just a body to have during training camp. Taven Bryan, probably the guy that could definitely make the roster and has a good chance of making a roster, depending on how many D tackles we carry. For McTelvin, there's always a chance. Listen, you never know. We'll see how that ends up working out. But again, like I said before, sometimes you just get, you get picked up in training camp, and it's not always because you're going to make the roster or you're going to be the guy. Sometimes, like, hey, listen, I'd rather be on a roster during training camp, show myself during preseason, get some game tape out there. Maybe someone else is interested and picks you up rather than doing nothing. It's better to be on a team during training camp preseason than not. Because at least if you get some game tape out there, you're going to show something. And if you do something good, let's say you have a crazy preseason play. Let's say, for example, Desmond Ridder lights up, one of the teams we play, and he has like 400 yards. Well, there might be a team out there that say, hey, listen, we need a backup quarterback. We think that watching your game tape in that last game, even though it's a preseason, you looked pretty good. You looked like you had something in you. So you never know. There's always a chance that guy could make a roster because of that. See you guys in the next one, though. Peace out.